Hiya and welcome back to Hooner's Garage. I'm going to carry on with the TZR clocks today. So just more along the process of making them look nice, even before bolting them on the bike. So hopefully get those in paint today. That's the aim. GSX did fail the MOT, but not on the not on the indicator light issue. It failed on a missing rear reflector, which I knew anyway. So I got one of those, stuck it on the back end. The headlight is too high. So let's just undo a couple of bolts, tilt the headlight forward. I needed new front brake pads, which are on order. I was hoping those would get here for Friday, but they didn't, so I'm hoping they'll get here for Monday. And the exhaust hanger, the exhaust bracket, not supporting the exhaust properly, I think it said. That one, I've got another exhaust rubber from another system, from another bracket. And he said just put one of these in it and it should support it enough, but I don't know if I can adjust the bracket so it lifts it higher up so it supports it better, or whether or not I'm going to need to put a second rubber in there. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But for today we'll crack on with the TZR clock facey bracket thing. So stick around, stay tuned, and we'll see how we get on. Right, so what I've done is basically take all the LEDs back out again, bolt them together, and at the moment it does fit together with the rubber seal in between these two plates. And the more I think about it, the more I think that that's a bad idea. The reason I did it that way was because I'd taken these out to the point where I could get them to fit, and I was a little bit worried about going a little bit too far, making it too big and then having a problem. So they fitted like that, so I thought, okay, maybe that's the way to do it. But having thought about it some more, I don't really want the seal in between those two, because it pulls them apart like that. Well, I think I want them closer together. I don't know about water getting in there, things like that. It's just, I don't think it's the way to go. The seals need to be on the outside. So what I did was bolt the two pieces together as they would be on the bike, with rubber seals on the inside, then march around the outside about roughly how much I need to take off to get those seals to fit the outside with the clocks in there as well. So now unbolt it, and being very careful, just take that out with a hand file. Right, after lots of filing and sanding and filing and sanding and filing and sanding, they finally fit. They are a little bit on the snug side, but that's fine. But they now have the rubbers on the outside. I've got some sealer as well, so I guess I can smear some of that round, and I can lubricate the inside of these rubber seals with a bit of grease to help them slide onto these easier. So that should be fine. I don't see that being an issue. So yeah, there we go. Still have the issue on the right hand side here, where that's a bit bulgy compared to that side. So I want to cut it, just sand it, that will end up filing it, I reckon, down just a shade more around there to bring this into line. And like I said, I'm going to run a bead around it with a bit of old tube or airline or something, probably in black, just around the outside to just edge it off a bit, because my work is not going to be fantastically straight. So something to disguise the irregularity, I think is probably the right word, of the edges. Right, so we're pretty much up to speed on this one. These are all out the right size, the clock's fitting nice. I've given it a light sanding down, take off any final burrs around there, smoothing it up a bit. So that's cool. Now I need to address and tidy this up a bit more, although most of this is going to be hidden. These here are too long. This bit here is catching on the frame. So I'm going to draw a line across there, a line across there, lop those off and make them just a tad shorter. Right, it is actually warm enough to spray, so I'm going to spray. I've taken, this is the underpin, that's the top piece, it's going to be white. This is the underpiece, which was that server cabinet door, but with my new flapper discs, I've stripped all the paint off and sanded it down, and sanded it down with some 240 as well to make sure all the paint and stuff's off that. So that's ready for spraying. And this bit up here, done that, test fitted, everything's cool, ready for spraying. So we'll wipe it down with a bit of nail varnish remover just to make sure it's all nice and clean, and then we'll get the spray cans out, and yeah, we'll put some undercoat on. Right, this camera seems to have a bit of an issue with focusing on these parts, but that's the first grey primer. So one coat of that, So we'll get some more primer on that once it's had 15 minutes to dry, and we'll start putting in some layers. Right, again, I apologise, this isn't very good at focusing on these in this colour for some reason. 3 coats of primer on both now. Where's the other one? Sideways, here it is. So 3 coats of primer on both. So I'm going to let that dry a bit, and then I'm going to start stacking it up with different colours to use as guide coats, just to see how badly out it is. Right, so the first coat of paint, this is the actually the Ford Graphite Grey that I got from Halfords. So the first coat of that. There's a guide coat. Yeah, this camera doesn't focus in on this stuff very well for some reason. Although it does like to focus in on the mess that is my garage at the moment. So first guide coat on both. That's the clock face. Well, actually the rear part, the rear piece, and the backing piece, if you will, in white. And this is the face plate at the moment in satin black. So they've got a few guide coats on each. So now I need to let them dry and then get out with the sandpaper. I don't know if I actually need to put guide coats and sand it down, but we'll see. We'll see. This is all an experiment. I've never done it before, so we'll just see how it goes. So there's nothing else I can do on those, so time to let them dry off, I guess. Right, that's about all I can get done today. Now it's just a waiting game, waiting for the paint to dry. Go over it again with some wet and dry sandpaper and just go through the levels. Try and make it as flat as possible, so when it comes to the final spray, it looks as nice as possible. So again, just waiting for drying times on that. So that's about it. Time to pack up and put everything away, head home and edit this and see if I can get it uploaded. Don't know if I'll be able to get back out into the garage tomorrow. Quite possibly not. I've got a few other jobs that I need to get done. So apart from that, possibly next week, possibly. It's still not getting a lot of garage time at the moment, but there we go. Lots of other things need doing. So yeah, drying times. So the next episode, have those flattened down and maybe get them sprayed up, ready. So there we go. Have fun, ride safe. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you on the next episode.